But at the same time,
I know what you're about to say, and I'm going to call you out. You're going to say, I need it. Think how deep it goes that you know that and you still participate. Think of how deep-rooted your psyche is to that dopamine release that you still know that you wrote a song.
But you're acting like there's another option.
Yeah.
What other options are there to get your stuff out than social media and what else not?
I mean,
like my podcast. Let's say
grassroots.
This. If I canceled all my accounts, my Facebook account, my company account, my podcast account, do you think my listenership would go up or it would go down? I
mean, of course it would go down because you're removing all the platforms that people can experience it, correct?
Right. So then that's what you're saying. You're like, well, if you don't agree with it, don't be involved with it. But you can't. You have, because you started to say, don't tell me it's because you have to have it. Well, yeah, I have to have that stuff to get my podcast out.
False. You choose to.
Right. I don't have to, but then what's the point of doing the podcast if no one's going to listen to it? Because I don't have the means, I don't have the distribution to get it out there. So it's easy to poo-poo and say, well, you don't have to do it. And you're right. I don't. I don't have to click, I agree. I don't have to put my stuff out there. So what is your solution to getting distribution without having to use social media?
So,
because I will do it. No joke. I will fucking do it.
All of this was done before social media. And it was by local bands. It was by bands that are famous. It was by anyone who was putting on a play, or you would fucking take out flyers that you would print yourself.
Right.
You would take, try to get yourself at events. Obviously, you can still post on social media like YouTube, but you don't have to do the rat race of like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook to be tracked.
Right.
And opt out, and then you can be dude, there's this dude who fucking has no social media. He does a podcast. He fucking puts flyers in people's mailboxes. He fucking goes out in the middle of the night and puts flyers on people's windshields. Like, this motherfucker is old school because he hates the internet so much, but he does a podcast that's on the internet. We gotta listen to this fucking freak.
So you know what I mean? I see what you're saying, and that would work if it was the 90s and there was no internet, because that was the medium to use. You would go flyer up the town. Sure. You would go, but do you know how long? So let's just say I go down to Baltimore and I start putting flyers on everyone's cars about the J2 podcast.
Yeah, you get fucked. You'd be fucked.
Do you think it would now it would hurt me more because, one, I could get in trouble. Two, people get pissed off because I'm flyering their cars and say I'm not listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Two, the effort and the material that I have to go through.
Oh, so dude, somebody would be like, "You're killing a ton of trees to put these flyers on."
That too, but not even that. Just it would take me all day just to do like a couple parking lots.
Yeah.
So So again, how does that help me to get off of social media?
But you don't know until you try. You don't know, and all you're telling me is negative responses towards the possibilities. So if you feel, the things you know about social media,
maybe there's a 1 in a million chance that somehow my podcast gets to the point where, because of a hot topic thing, a bunch of people tune in, and then, but I'm not a hot button or a hot topic podcast. So one, that's really not going to happen. Two,
I mean, but you're saying these things like are definitive.
Your argument was that you don't need social media to get out there.
No. My argument is, let me be clear. My argument is you choose all the situations that you are in
that give up your privacy. I see that.
Yes.
I see that.
Yes.
But then my counter was to that and actually I didn't even counter it. You started to bring it up. You said, and don't say that you need it to get it out there.
Yeah.
So then my argument became, okay, then give me the alternative. And I still haven't gotten an alternative. I think, unfortunately, in order to really get yourself... Now, once you get to a certain level, then you can say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck all... That's why Joe Rogan's like, fuck YouTube. I'm going to Spotify because they're going to pay me $100 million.